We're at Five Below. Why are these people leaving? I can't wait to go in. Look, the sign on the sidewalk even says, Bleed Halloween, not your wallet. So we know Five Below is not really Five Below anymore. The pricing is a little bit higher. And I actually walked out with something from Five Below. I tend to get a thing or two each year, and I'm pretty happy with what I got. It was more than $5, but I am going to show it to you at the end of the video and give you a sneak peek into part of my display that I have already started. Yes, it is still August and I am decorating. I've started decorating the inside of my house, so I am on the lookout for a lot of props and little pieces and tchotchkes and decor that I still need to flesh out my display. Of course, I always see things that I think I should have used in years past, but of course they weren't here, like that little misting witch cauldron. Last year I did in my kitchen witch displays. I had a number of cauldrons on my table, some of which were misting. But I'm not doing witches this year. I try not to do things 2 years in a row. Might I just say that little pumpkin with that big O mouth was kind of strange. But anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please take a look through my past videos. I like to change it up every year inside and out. This year I'm doing vampires, and I wish I had bought that little collection of bats right there. And that's another good reason for these videos, is I can always go back and see what I missed. Like this fantastic Bite Me doormat. Now, I'm not doing vampires throughout my whole house. I am only doing them in my kitchen area, where the food will be for my Halloween party. Can't keep this stuff on the shelves. So I am looking for bat decor, but in my living room, I'm doing clowns. It's a little bit harder. Maybe killer clowns if I were doing that. Having killer vibes doormat might be handy. So inside, those are going to be my two main themes. I'm also doing Medusa in the guest bathroom. Outside, I've got a number of different displays, of course. I've got my usual cemetery. What I don't have are sparkly disco ball effects, and if I did, I would certainly get one of these because they're cheap at only $5. But anyway, I'm going to have my cemetery followed by dragons. So if you watched my last couple of videos, I've been starting to put that bit of display together. Then we're going to be doing Ghostbusters. I've done a couple of videos already on some Ghostbusters merchandise. Of course, my 33-foot Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man inflatable I'm really excited to put out this year. That was from our friends at HalloweenCostumes.com. If you're interested in any of their merchandise, be sure to use the link in the description of this video. You can shop there or like at Lowe's. Either of those will, well, Lowe's you won't get a discount. HalloweenCostumes.com you should get a discount. Various other vendors, I'll make sure to put them in the descriptions below as well. But like I said, with Lowe's, I am an affiliate, so if you buy something from there, I'll get a small commission. Doesn't cost you anything more, of course, just helps support the channel. But back to the display, I have done Ghostbusters a couple of years, and in fact, I did it last year. Like I said, I don't like to do things 2 years in a row, but because I got that really awesome Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, I have to do them again, because that's definitely going in my display this year. I also got a little Slimer hanging prop from HalloweenCostumes.com that I haven't opened yet. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for that when they release their new line of Ghostbusters animatronics and merchandise coming up in early September, so you're going to stay tuned for that. I am also trying to get the Ghostbusters inflatable firehouse. It's kind of like a little walk-through inflatable, which I may end up having to buy myself. Oh gosh, I hate that. I love it when the vendors send me the free products, but I can't be too greedy. I do buy some of this stuff myself because they are really good products. And once I get these ideas in my head, I really have to flesh them out. So I envision putting that firehouse, which is about, I think, 11 foot tall, in front of my Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So it's going to look in people's photographs like this giant ghost is terrorizing the neighborhood behind the firehouse, just like you would see in the movie. Look at that. Did you see that? That was a sparkly, bloody knife. That might be my favorite thing in the store. I should probably go back and get that. The last big part of my display this year is, of course, my Underworld speakeasy. I say, of course, assuming you have watched my videos in the past, where I have been slowly building up toward all of these things. So if you want to follow me along in my journey toward Halloween and getting my house all ready, make sure you subscribe. Help us get to that elusive 100,000 subscriber mark. That would be fantastic. The only other kind of zones in my display will be my shark, that 7-foot megalodon that I bought from Home Depot this year. I've got to work that into my display. That'll be just sort of off on the side on the walkway up to my front door. And then last year we bought that really cool Kraken animatronic with the undersea diver. And if you've seen my videos and know my yard is full of these ponds and bridges, I can't help but put the nautical decor out. It's going to complement my yard so fantastically. I'm really looking forward to it, especially because I don't plan to bring back my pirates this year, which often work very well with all the water in my yard, but I use them about every other year or so because I don't want them to get too stale. I did notice that Home Depot was bringing back that really cool sinking pirate ship animatronic this year. I bought that many years ago, and I've worked that into my display several times, even building a platform to have it in the middle of one of my ponds so it looks like it's sinking. I think they're also bringing back that rocking chair fisherman, which is kind of a reskin of the rocking chair witch. I remember buying her the first year she was out. That was many years ago, and she's made several appearances since. And of course now there's that fisherman version of her. It would work well too in my ponds, but I gotta pick and choose my battles. The prices are getting crazy this year. I think that a lot of the animatronics are now in the $300 range, when it seems like last year, of course, the majority of them were in the $200 range. So we're going to have to save some money somewhere, like here at the Five Below. Look at this. This is not really Halloween, but I love a good murder mystery. If you know me too, you know I've written one that I have online that's kind of popular called Sour Grapes of Wrath. Be sure to check that out for your next murder mystery party. I have it for free online. Speaking of murder mysteries, if you're a fan of the movie Clue, it is the 40th anniversary and they have re-released the Clue movie. I say that because I am a huge Clue fan. I have a Clue website. My collection of Clue is very, very extensive. I have an entire room full of this stuff. So I'm excited about that. You can watch the movie as it was intended originally in the theaters, with it showing just one ending. And you can look up in the theaters, go to different showings to see the different endings. Of course, it wasn't until the VHS came out that they put all three endings together, which would make more sense because a little bit of Clue trivia for you. One of the reasons that it kind of flopped in the theaters was because nobody wanted to go see the movie multiple times to get the true ending, which is why they just didn't go to see it at all. And it has since become the cult classic that we all love. And if you don't love it, I'm guessing that's because you haven't seen it. Well, sit down this weekend, have a watch. It's a good movie. I have seen it literally hundreds of times and can recite the entire thing by memory. Speaking of unforgettable things, have you found anything here in the Five Below that has piqued your curiosity? If so, be sure to leave me a comment below. A lot of it is kind of generic. I thought the t-shirts were kind of cool. You know, we saw a little selection of them before on the other side of this shelf. Ugh, look at that. There's Edward Cullen. But I think that the price point of these is fantastic. $5.55. That's cheaper than the Walmart t-shirts, which of course I have to buy every year. I would buy almost all of these if I could, but if past indication is anything, they won't have my size. And I'm not even sure that these are unisex t-shirts. I don't think the Five Below really caters to my demographic, but that's not stopping me from doing some shopping. Like I said, there is one item that I did purchase, and again, I should have went back and bought those bats, but we'll probably find something similar in another store. We have lots more stores to explore before Halloween, so you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned for that coming up. Before we go, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining my Fright Club, be sure to check out a link to my Patreon page in the description below. And here we go. Did you guess what I purchased? This is the stackable skulls, and the reason I bought this, not only because I think skulls are cool, and this collapses into a nice little box, is that it has that raven on the top. The last theme I'm doing is a transition between my party area and my kitchen, and that is ravens. Ravens who have attacked this poor skeleton man. Now, this is very much a work in progress. We're still going to take that stuff off the walls, make this a lot spookier before we get to Halloween. But here you can see what I've done with our illusionist prop. I have taken out the eyeballs that I put in, at least one of them, and our raven has found it. And I can't wait to get this scene fleshed out and the rest of my house. So if you want to see that come together, again, make sure you're subscribed. and I can't wait to share it all with you. So thanks again for watching. Till next time, take care everyone, and happy haunting.